guys, what's going on? What's going on, LBHT crew B? What is going on?
I think your little super team over there sounds like it's breaking up. That's what's going on.
Listen. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Okay. One super team goes away, another super team is reborn. Okay. If you don't know, we're talking about my Brooklyn Nets. Okay. Rumor is they trying to get James Harden up out of there. But everything's fine. It's all good. We're going to discuss it later on in the show. But we're gonna talk a lot about the upcoming Super Bowl. You know, there's a small game coming up called the Super Bowl. You know, two teams are playing in the game. I guess somebody's gonna win a championship, whatever. But we'll discuss the two teams and give you our predictions. We kind of gave you our knee-jerk reactions 2 weeks ago after the conference championship games were played. Yes. I said the Bengals initially. Will I stick with them? We'll see. And that's my doorbell's ringing. I think that's Jacob's Pizza. There you go. Go handle that, Jacob. All right, and we got some people already coming in here. Okay, let's see. We got Couch Rider. Oh, my Twitch is acting up. Hold on. I see you, Couch Rider. I see you, Big Reg. I see you guys in here. Hold on. I'm gonna get you guys on the screen.
Andre Mears with the new name.
Yes.
Got Tony Hendo in there.
Now they see him. What's going on? Our man Hendo is in the house. This is LBHT crew. Let's get it. Yes. Felipe Marino says, Jose, ask the people what they think about James Prochet. Listen, man, there's no need to slander this man's name today. For what? He's on the team right now. He's working hard. He's running 300 yards, uphill and everything. Look, he's doing what he need to do to try to make the team next year. So I'm rooting for him. All right, no shade. Boogie Down EJ says, I'm not even going to watch the Super Bowl. Wow. Wow, it's like that. Okay. Got Marquita in the house. Marquita Anderson says, hey, Marquita, what's up with you? Thanks for coming through. Let's see. Jerome Bigby's in the house. Says, what's up, fellas? What's up with you? Yes, Just Allo says, hello, everyone. What's up, Jose and Brodny? Hey, what's up with you, Just Allo? Thanks for coming through, man. Couch probably said he'd be right back. Where you going? You just got here, Couch. You just got here. Wow. Davon's here. It says hashtag LBHT crew.
What's going on, Davon?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Shout out to Davon, man.
Davon working out his schedule.
Yes. Hey, Keenan Ricketts says, what's up, fellas? Brian Flores update. Right now, it looks like he's going to be jobless, at least for this year. All the coaching positions have been filled up. We're going to discuss that later on in the show. And we'll see what that means for Brian Flores and other coaches that didn't make it, like, Eric Bieniemy. So, and Eric Ellis here says, what's up, big timers? I know all is most excellent. Man? Yes, indeed. Appreciate you coming through. Always. And Nitro says, I'm in LBHT. Let's go. And slander the Bengals for the North. Man, we ain't got slander. Look, we ain't got slander the Bengals, man. Let them live. Listen, bitterness. Let them live. It's been, they've never won a Super Bowl. It's been 33 years since they've been to the Super Bowl. Let them live a little bit, man. It's okay. It's okay. Look,
bitterness in the flock.
Listen. It's not going to be any Bengals hate here, right? There are our AFC North rivals, and when we see them next year, we're going to get some revenge for what they did to us this year. But they in the Super Bowl, it's no hate, right? Because I'm secure, right, as a Ravens fan, okay? I'm secure in our future, my feelings towards the future, right? There's a lot of things that I feel negative about, but I think it's all going to work out in the end. I think Lamar is going to get us that Super Bowl that he promised us on draft night. So I'm good. Joe Shiesty, you can go out there and do your thing. It's fine. Lamar's going to get his, so it's whatever, all right? Yeah, he says he likes Burrow. I like Burrow, too. There ain't no hate. I love Jamar Chase. I love that man.
The rumors about Kyle Murray are true. Lamar ain't doing nothing in Baltimore. I'll tell you that.
What?
The rumors about Kyler Murray wanting $50 to $55 million on his next deal.
Okay, we'll get into that. All right. We have a lot to discuss. We have a whole lot. We're going to try to go a little faster than normal. We'll try to read your comments.
On that note, we're going to have to pause.
Oh, we got to pause.
Because we got a donation. I'm putting it in.
Hang on. Listen, the show ain't got to stop. I can read those things anytime. I guess I should mention, this is a good time to mention, if you're new here, first of all, hit that like and subscribe button. All right, we do the show every Wednesday night, 7:15 p.m. Eastern time. And there it is. There's our first donation of the night. Shout out to Davon. Whoa.
Thank you, Davon.
Whoa. Yes, we do need to pause the show. We need to clap it up for Davon one time. My man, Davon. You know what?
Thank you, Davon. I appreciate you, man.
That deserves another pop up there, okay? Just because we only keep it 100. Hashtag LBHT crew, man. Man, that's our brother right there, man. Shout out to you, Davon, man. Davon's been supporting since day one, man.
That cost of living treating you well down there.
That's what's up, man. If you want to be awesome like Davon, there are two ways you can do that. One, right below B, $ LBHT Show. That's our Cash App. Also, if you look in the chat box, that pinned comment at the top, that will take you to our Streamlabs. Either way, you can leave your donation, leave your comment, and you'll get a pop-up just like Davon did 2 times. You won't get it 2 times unless you want to make some big moves like big money. Davon right there. But you'll get it at least one time. If I miss it, I'll pop it up there again. All right. Yes. So appreciate everybody coming through here. And Suge Knight 323 is here.
What's up, Suge?
He says, Brodny can't go that fast. Oh, shots early.
Wow.
Whoa.
Thought we were friends. Thought it was going to be a good night.
All right. So if you don't know how we like to start our show, we like to start every show with a Black History fact. We actually started the LBHT show around this time last year. It was in Black History Month, and we decided to keep it going. So, this is kind of our anniversary of the show. And
almost 16th.
Okay, 16th. So I mean, look, next week is the 1-year anniversary. Be here for that. Will we do something special? Probably not. But it'll be a special show.
Yes, we will. It's special every time we show up.
There you go. All right, so let's kick this off with the Black History fact. B has got a Black History fact for you.
Just a little quick one, but a bit of a twofer for you, because the Winter Olympics are going on. We want to give a shout out to Debbie Thomas, a New York native who in 1988 became the first Black athlete to win a medal in the Winter Olympics. She won a bronze medal in figure skating, and to this day is the only Black woman who has ever medaled in figure skating. Also, in 2002, Vonetta Flowers became the first Black athlete to win a gold medal in the Winter Olympics. She won that in the 2-woman bobsled event alongside her teammate Jill Bakken back in 2002. So congratulations to them making history.
Yes.
Out there in those sports that Black people don't like because it's too cold. But they did it.
Yes. All right. Danity is in the house. What's up, Danity? She says, hey, y'all, it's a lot of corporate tap dancing when it comes to the Flores lawsuit. Look, do you guys want to start? Do we want to start with the coaches in the coaching hirings in the NFL, and then we get to the Super Bowl talk? It's up to you. It's your guys' show. We could talk about this. And Dandy, you're right. You're absolutely right. By the way, you're absolutely right. Flores said he wanted to invoke change. He invoked some immediate change. All right, and we got another donation from Hendo. Oh, shout out to Hendo.
Thank you.
He
Tony.
says, "Sorry, I still live in B more." You know what, man? Look, it's all good. I feel your pain, man. I'm like 15 minutes away from you. All right. Appreciate that. Man, y'all showing some love tonight, man. I appreciate that. Mr. Jada6 says, what's good, fellas? Handshake emoji. Yes, sir.
All right. So you want to start off with the NFL coaching hires, I guess?
Let's do it. And Garnett, shout out to Garnett, man. Thanks for coming through, Garnett. Garnett, the king of the spaces, the Twitter spaces, man. I see you out there. All right.
I know. I saw some people coming for the throne, but
The king's still the king. The king stay the king. All right. All right. Yes. Let's talk about it. So NFL coaching hires. So like Dandy mentioned, man, like Brian Flores filed that lawsuit, and we got another donation from shout out to Shug. Shug says,
thank you, Shug.
He says, here my 100 for LBHT. Davon ain't showing me up. 1-year anniversary made it longer than most of my marriages. I heard you had a stream on Saturday. Hope nothing crazy happened. First of all, thanks for coming through on Saturday.
You shouldn't say most of your marriages. That's not a sentence you should say.
Yes, we did do a live stream. If you guys aren't subscribed to our Ring Kings channel, we do Ring Kings podcast.
Go do it because we're 1 away from 50 subscribers.
One away. That's our first milestone. And and Suge came through, and Suge was at a bar when he was watching the live stream, and he decided to let everybody in the bar know, subscribe to Ring Kings podcast immediately. So shout out to Suge. But okay, all right. So yes, Brian Flores filed that lawsuit, and the NFL started making some fast moves. And if you think some of the hires weren't inspired per se by that Brian Flores lawsuit, you are kidding yourselves. Okay.
Well, I'll say this. Look, there were 9 openings. Mm-hmm. 9 head coaching openings, and 2 black coaches were hired.
Yes.
Right? Mike McDaniel, the offensive coordinator out of San Francisco, and Lovie Smith, the longtime NFL coach, defensive coordinator, former Bears and Tampa Bay head coach, also University of Illinois. Didn't go great there, but right. He's the coach in Houston. I would say that Mike McDaniel I think he had a pretty decent shot of getting hired anyway. I mean, he's got that kind of young offensive genius label, right? And I've listened to him talk, and he seems like a very bright guy.
He seems like a player's coach too.
Yeah, and he has a way of breaking down the game very simply and making it very easy to understand for people. Yeah. So I think he maybe not this year, but definitely next year he would have been hired anyway. I think that Lovie Smith was certainly gifted that job in Houston. They went from the finalists are Brian Flores and Josh McCown to less than 24 hours later, our coach is Lovie Smith.
So Davon brings up something I want to address. He says McDaniel identifies, right? Because if you see the brother, you be like, is he a brother? Listen. You don't always know. But he says that I guess his grandmother was black. Right?
Well, his father's black,
half black, right? Yeah. His father, I think, is black and white or something like that. I don't know, right? And that's what he identifies with. Hey, whatever, right? But I wonder because the timing of all this, mm-hmm. Did he identify that way before? Or were they like, hey, we want to give you this job. Did. You are black, right?
Listen, he wouldn't have to do that to get a job. Ask the other 7 hires. Okay. Yeah. So I think that was a legit hire. I mean, I probably wouldn't have taken the job in Miami just because of who that owner is and what they're going through right now. But I think that's the guy that's the guy they wanted. Houston, I know you didn't want Lovie Smith. Stop playing. You're not fooling anybody.
Yeah, they wanted Josh McCown, and they got cold. Either they got cold feet, or when they had their owners powwow, their emergency meeting after that lawsuit came through, and they said, "Look, somebody's gonna have to do it."
They put the names in a hat, and Houston came out.
Yeah,
just like Arizona did a couple years ago. Just like, unfortunately, Houston did last year. They kind of sucked for them twice in a row.
They said, all right, guys, put your names in the hat. Hold up. Houston, you're up. You shouldn't have fired the black coach that you had in David Culley because you weren't going anywhere anyway. Yes. Right? And the reason why you end up with Lovie Smith is because everybody knows what's going on with that Houston job. It's a trap job, right? Mm-hmm. Like they don't want Lovie Smith either. They didn't want David Culley. They just wanted somebody just to just for a year to just sit in that mess until they can hire the coach that they want, which is Josh McCown. So that's why Lovie, I guess Lovie sees a benefit in, hey, it gets my name back out there again, and maybe I can pull a Brian Flores, because Brian Flores, they haven't talked about that really either. Brian Flores wasn't meant to be as successful as he was. All right. He willed that to happen, and maybe Lovie thinks I could do the same thing. So
maybe he can. I mean, he's done a good job.
He's a Super Bowl coach.
Yeah, he was a winning coach before. I mean, I think there's a kind of a thought that the game has passed him by a little bit, and maybe it has, but we'll see. But he got fired after a 10-win season his last year in the NFL.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. And I was going to say, that Houston didn't want Lovie Smith, obviously, but the other side of that is the NFL doesn't want Brian Flores, right? And you can kind of look at it and say that's understandable. He's suing you and everything, but that's not the way that it goes, or that's not the way that it's supposed to go. He was clearly the more qualified candidate that Houston was talking to, right? He was a finalist along with Josh McCown, who doesn't have any coaching experience, who is a volunteer at for a high school football team.
Yeah.
So I mean, if those are your two finalists, Brian Flores is your coach. But you're not looking to hire him.
Okay, I get the lawsuit thing is going to scare people away, right? And for 31 white owners, you have a coach talking about race that's spooky to them. But man, if you're trying to win,
yeah,
like the man, all he wants to do is win, right? Like he's got the competitive spirit. Like he's going to do whatever it takes to win out there on the field. Like you want that kind of coach in your locker room. You want that coach on your team. But yeah.
But yeah, most teams are not actively trying to win, so
that's true.
It's not a big deal.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
If teams were actively trying to win, teams would be beating down Eric Bieniemy's door to be their new OC right now.
So yeah, let's discuss Bieniemy real quick. Passed over again. We thought he was going to get that New Orleans job, and they ended up going with Dennis Allen, another failed head coach. By the way,
I'll say this about the New Orleans job: there's no circumstance where he should have taken that job anyway. Yeah. It's an awful job right now, right? They are 70 however many $1 million over the cap. They don't have a quarterback, and they promoted their defensive coordinator, who did a great job there last year. And I think they're just they're kind of like a Detroit situation where they're trying to wait it out, get out from under the cap, maybe find their new quarterback and then start over with whoever it is they actually want their coach to be.
Yeah.
But in terms of Bieniemy, that's not the kind of job that you get offered when you have a Super Bowl championship, when you coached an MVP at quarterback, when you've been to the conference championship 4 straight years, and you're number 1 in every offensive category in the league over the last 4 years. That's not the kind of job you get.
Right. That's true. So, Bieniemy, who knows? If I'm the Chiefs, I'm just giving him a raise and saying, hey, stay here, be the coach in waiting for when Andy Reid retires, right? That would be my thinking. There was speculation from, I think, Pro Football Talk saying, hey, this is last year. He hasn't gotten an extension yet. Maybe he's, he might be looking for an OC job somewhere else next year. I hope that ain't the case. I hope it's head coach finally next year. But, how I feel over here. If it's, first of all, I want him to be a head coach over here. But if not, if he's looking to be an OC again somewhere else, let it be Baltimore.
Yeah.
So,
but y'all got an offensive coordinator at home, right? Y'all got great.
Man, whatever. So, all right, let's read a couple of these comments real quick, and then we go to the next topic. We'll discuss on Super Bowl, and man, we got a lot to discuss, man. Oh well, the other coaching story. This ties into it. Let's talk about the Panthers. We'll get to the Panthers in a second. Let's read.
Sending mixed signals. My goodness.
I'm sorry, I'm doing too much over here. Let's see. We got Davon said Houston was ready to hire McNown. Yeah. The high school volunteer coach. Yes. Mm-hmm. Ferris, what's up, Ferris? Says if I was the owner, I would have hired Brian. Positive PR, and how these owners like good PR. But they like good PR on their terms and like doing things their way.
That'd be pretty negative PR in the room with them other owners.
Yeah. Danny says Saints are bankrupt. I'm glad he didn't get that job. It's beneath him. Well, yeah. But look, the way the cap works in the NFL, if they decide they want to keep competing, they could have kept competing.
Well, their problem is just they don't have a quarterback. So I think that at this point, there's not an easy answer to quarterback. So they're just going to take it on the chin this year, get out from under the cap, and rebuild.
Yeah. All right. Panthers. Yes. The Panthers. My goodness. There has been a mass exodus of coaches.
It's not a mass exodus.
It's been like 3.
Well, no. They fired 3 coaches after the season. They fired the offensive line coach, the special teams coordinator, and and the defensive line coach. Mm-hmm. So those 3 are gone. Recently, the last couple of days, 2 more coaches have left on their own. Frisman Jackson who was the wide receivers coach, took the wide receivers coach position in Pittsburgh. And then I believe his name was Jason Simmons, was the secondary coach and pass game coordinator, and he took the same position with the Raiders. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of turnover in Carolina. And this time, one of the biggest criticisms that
What's the difference between
it's not an exodus when they get fired.
There's five coaches gone. What do you guys call it? I don't know.
One of the biggest criticisms of that coaching staff when Matt Rule took over is they had no experience. He didn't have any NFL experience. Neither coordinator had any NFL experience, and there wasn't a ton of experience across the position coaches. And so they've decided to go in the opposite direction. They hired Campen to be the offensive line coach, who's been an offensive line coach for more than a decade in the league. Yeah. They just hired Paul Pasqualani, who's just over 70. He's got 40 plus years in the NFL, or in coaching at various levels. He was a head coach at Syracuse for 14 years. They just brought back Steve Wilkes, who was the previous defensive coordinator and position coach under Ron Rivera, who also had a year as a head coach in Arizona.
Yes.
So they're bringing in a lot of NFL experience to kind of prop up Matt Rule and Snow. And Ben McAdoo, he's a former head coach as well and offensive coordinator in the NFL. So I think that the change there is probably positive. It just won't really matter. This is not a good team, and you got those position coaches who have been with Matt Rule previously. They coached with him in college. Mm-hmm. He brought them along, and they're leaving because they know that there's no future on a Matt Rule staff in Carolina.
See, I was just about to ask you that, right? All these Matt Rule guys, he's the head coach, and all these guys that he brought in are fired or they're leaving, and they're being replaced with not his guys. What does that tell you, right? Like, It tells you, I mean, especially the two that just left. They just left, and they left for it's a lateral move. Like they're not getting promotions or anything like that. That is Matt Rule saying, "Man, go ahead and get up out of here because I probably won't last the whole season."
They asked for permission to go interview, and he gave it to them. But it goes to show what we've already known since he fired Joe Brady.
Yeah,
which is Matt Rule isn't I'm going to go down with the ship guy. I'm going to throw you under the bus guy.
Yeah.
So
Derek says Wilkes returned as a D-line coach. I think they reported secondary coach.
Yeah, he came back as the secondary coach is what I saw.
Yeah, that's what I saw too. But I mean, who knows? They could have gotten it wrong.
Because Pasqualani is the D-line coach.
Oh, okay.
And then I think they're still open at wide receiver right now.
And Adeep Mahmoud, what's going on? Thanks for coming through to the live stream. He says, if the Giants didn't bring in Mike Kafka for their offensive coordinator, I could see Kansas City more willing to let Bieniemy go. But since Kafka isn't in KC anymore, they probably keep Bieniemy to avoid replacing two coaches. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Dandy says he went from good weather North Carolina to bad, heavy snow weather Pittsburgh for the same position. Yeah, for job security.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin's not going anywhere, and arguably better receivers over there. Kind of build, and I mean, look, it's good. I think for position coaches to move around, kind of network with other people because that's how you get jobs in the NFL. Is just knowing people, right? Yeah. So now, I mean, granted, he knows a failed staff in Carolina, but he knows the people in Carolina. He knows the people in Pittsburgh. And from my understanding, he had worked with Mike Tomlin before, was familiar with Mike Tomlin before.
Yeah.
So that's why, ended up there.
Yeah, like every coaching job that you get, you got to know somebody. Just Alice says, last time I saw an Exodus that big, Moses had stone tablets. And just Allah was there. He knows. Stop messing with him. All right, and we got another donation from Sterling. Shout out to you, Sterling. Appreciate you coming through, man. He says, I told Jay wanted to hear it. Garoppolo is a bad QB. Yes, he did tell me. He did.
I won't say that he's good or bad, but I will say that's going to be Suge's new QB in Pittsburgh.
Ooh, so, we might have to discuss that on the overtime show. Suge, how do you feel about Jimmy G? How do you feel about
that, Suge?
Yes. All right. Okay, let's keep it moving because we're already moving behind schedule. Super Bowl time, guys. Super Bowl. Yes. All right, look, Super Bowl 56, Rams versus Bengals. I know there's a lot of mixed feelings amongst Ravens fans in here because the team. I mean, let's be real about it. Like the team that you least expected to make it out of the division made it, right? Yeah. We knew that they were building something. We figured they were still a couple years away at least from getting to this point, and they said no, we want it now. And look, man, shout out to them. Like they're young, they got a lot of talent, and they could do it. But they're facing a Rams team that also has a lot of talent, and I look, I've been back and forth on this B, right? Like I picked the Bengals, right after they beat Kansas City because I always thought whoever comes out the AFC is winning it, but the Rams, man, like I don't know, like how do you compare the talent? Like obviously Jamar Chase is unstoppable, but so is Cooper Kupp.
you compare by saying the Rams have better talent on offense and better talent on defense.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to say this one more time. I know people are probably tired of hearing it, but you said that, people expected the Bengals to take another couple of years to kind of turn it around, and that's true. But superstar talent matters.
Yes.
It's what makes a difference in this league.
Yeah.
Most guys on the roster are interchangeable, and they went out and they got guys who aren't. You can't just replace Joe Burrow. You can't just replace Jamar Chase. Even T. Higgins. You can't really just replace T. Higgins.
Yeah.
And that's why they're advancing and Baltimore is not.
It's that simple, right? It's that simple. Like, talent is what got them back in that game against Kansas City. Nothing else, right? Nothing else. It wasn't, coaching, yes, coaching played a part in it. You can say, they executed. Yeah. But you need talent to come back from that kind of deficit. And that's what happened. Right. We don't have that other than Lamar. We don't have anybody else that can really bring us back like that.
No. But in terms of the game this Sunday, like I said, I look at it, the Rams have better wide receivers. They've got a better running back. They've got the much better O-line. Both teams' starting tight ends might miss the game. It looks like I think Uzoma's out. It looks like Higbee might be out as well. But I think what it's going to come down to is can the interior line of Cincinnati handle Aaron Donald? And I don't think they can. I don't think the edges are going to be able to handle Von Miller either. But I think Aaron Donald is going to wreck Joe Burrow's day. And Jalen Ramsey is going to be on Jamar Chase. And I think he'll do – I don't think he's going to shut down Jamar Chase, but I think he'll do well enough that the Bengals can't claw their way back into it.
So what's your score?
I'm going to say Rams 31 and Bengals 20.
Oh, all right. We're going to read a couple of these comments, and I'm gonna give you my prediction here. Let's see. Davon says Jimmy G just wins, baby. Okay,
that's right.
Okay, all right. Let's see.
Except for last week, but whatever.
Hendo says, "Let's go Rams." Okay. He says Ravens not willing to do that, so we already know how this ends. Yeah, look, we'll see. You can never count out a healthy Lamar. You can never count him out if he's in the game. Dandy says Ravens should really be embarrassed with the Bengals in the Super Bowl. Yeah, this should prompt them to say, man, we got to do more. We gotta at least keep up with them because they surpassed us. Like anybody thinking that once we come back healthy, we'll be on top. Now if we don't get more talent, because right now they are the better team. Let's see. Davon says they said forgive Cooper Kupp for what he will do to Eli Apple during Black History Month. Ravens Online Ungatekeeper says, let's not make Eli Apple a champion. Yeah. But yeah, I hear you. He talks a lot of trash. I hear you. Let's see.
He's like Pat Beverly. Like, you just don't deserve to talk the trash, but you're just doing it anyway. It's just irritating.
He says, watch what I say. He's going to leave if they don't get talent. Talking about Lamar. We'll see. He hasn't signed a contract yet. So we'll see what happens there. And here we go with some scores. Davon says 31-28 Rams. Hendo says 35-21 Rams. Raven Ron says 35-6 Rams. Wow. The disrespect over here. Brandon Buck says 35-31 Bengals. Brandon, I like your score, my friend. I like your score. I got weak for a little bit last week, and I was like, man, the Rams are going to do it. But I got a clear mind now, and I'm sticking with the Bengals. I am sticking with Joe Shiesty, okay? I think he's going to – listen, we all know what it is with Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford almost threw the game away last week. He's going to do it this week.
Hey, you know what? Joe Burrow did too. You know, people aren't talking about that. Joe Burrow rolled out and nailed a Chiefs defender between the numbers on the sidelines.
He did do that.
There was not a Bengal in sight.
Yeah. Yolanda B says, I think the Bengals will win sadly. Yeah. I don't want to see.
They'll be pretty happy if they win.
You know, look, it is what it is. I won't even be mad about it, right? Because me being mad about it is just me being mad at the Ravens at the end of the day. If you're mad that the Bengals win this, it's because you're mad at the organization.
Yeah, it's not a situation where they beat you to get there. You weren't in it.
Because let's think about it. If the Ravens would have won in 2019, like we should have, and you know, maybe we just fall short last year, or we're in the hunt. And since he wins it this year, it doesn't sting as much, right? Because Lamar already got, we were just in the Super Bowl. We'll be back next year because we know we can get there because we just won it, right? Mm-hmm. But the fact that we haven't gotten there, the fact that it doesn't look like we can compete the deeper into the playoffs. We keep saying, oh, we can do it. We talk ourselves into it, but you don't really feel that way, right? It's that little kernel of insecurity that you're trying to suppress, right? That makes you want to root against the Bengals. Right?
Yeah, they beat the brakes off of Baltimore twice, and Ravens fans spent the rest of the season telling themselves and everybody else that it was a fluke and they're just the Bengals, and now they're in the Super Bowl, and now you're mad.
Add to Pop says, I want the Rams to win so bad. Aaron Donald and Jalen and OBJ deserve a ring. Man, they have to win this. Man, I want Aaron Donald because I think he's the best defensive player in football, hands down. I want him to get a ring because he's going straight to the Hall of Fame, and I want him to go with the ring. I want Odell to get a ring too. So
because you're petty.
So our good friend Matt Thomas.
Shout out to Matt. Real Entertainment.
Shout out to Matt, man. He's a Browns fan, man. Shout out to the Browns fans out there. Yeah, I want to poke fun at them a little. I'm not gonna troll them. I'm gonna poke a little bit, man. Like, aren't you happy for Odell? Aren't you happy? Let's see here. Jalen Murphy says EDC not wanting to improve the wide receiver core is a red flag. I agree. Well, look, we'll see. We'll see.
You got to take everything in those press conferences with a grain of salt. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't hear what you wanted to hear, obviously, but that doesn't that's not set in stone what they're going to do this offseason.
Last year, he said he was offended by the notion that the wide receivers need to be improved, and he went out and got 3. So he can't. He's kind of softened his stance since then.
And now we're not going to throw it to him, just to prove my point.
Couch Rider says 27-10 Rams. All right. He says Bengals 32-30. Okay. All right. I didn't give you a score. I didn't give you a score for my game. I'm going with the Bengals. I'm going to say, 30 sounds good. I think it's going to be straight touchdowns, no field goals. I'm going to say 42-35. It's going to be a shootout. And that last 7 points for the Bengals is going to come off of pick 6 from Matt Stafford. Yep, that's right. Yep. Hendo says Matt Stafford always almost throws the game away. Not always. Most of the time he throws the game away. Sometimes he almost does it. Andre Mir says, I get the feeling Bengals are hot. They might win. Yeah, man. Both teams are hot.
Yeah. I saw an interesting stat right before we logged on, though. Mm-hmm. I believe it was from Chuck Modi. He said that despite having been blackballed from the league for 5 years, Colin Kaepernick still has more playoff wins than Matt Stafford. He came in the league the year after and has been blackballed for 5 years and still has more playoff wins.
Yeah.
But people like to tell you Colin sucks.
Yes. Danny,
yeah, Matt is a legend.
Danny says Lamar taking his precious time to get that contract signed according to EDC. I'm glad he is. Me too. Mm-hmm. Me too. Take a whole year. Take the whole year.
Well, and again, like I mentioned, that Kyler Murray, that he just scrubbed everything Cardinals from all his social media, and the rumor out there is that he's looking at 50 to 55 million for his next contract.
All right, we'll discuss that real quick.
If that is the case, like if Kyler Murray is actually demanding 50 to 55 million, Lamar ain't signing no deal in Baltimore.
yeah, Lamar going to need 60. Yeah. like the nerve of Kyler.
You want to talk about some unearned confidence? My goodness.
I mean, he's a good player, but I mean, you're talking about a player that the organization did give him everything. They gave him weapons. They gave him protection. Like they gave him everything. And to go out the way you went out in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah. He's a good player. He's not a great player. And until you show up in the playoffs and actually play, you better go somewhere else with that $50 million target.
Hey, Davon's absolutely right. Kyler getting that $50 million in MLB. He's not a bum. He said he's a bum. He's not a bum. He's not a bum.
But yeah, there's talk he might ask for a trade. Just a little uncertainty going on in Arizona, I guess, with their quarterback.
Yeah, no. He talking about he a bum. You call everybody a bum. You so extreme with everything, man. Like he's not a bum. He's good, but like he definitely had a bad first outing.
He's a playoff bum.
Yeah. So let's see. Just Al says, I believe they are lowballing Lamar, or he would have signed. Yeah. Yes, I think. Yes, the feeling is they believe they can. They can get more from the Ravens, and I know they will get more. I know they get more. If it was a deal that would have made him the richest quarterback in NFL history, I think he would have signed it.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that he wants to be in Baltimore, and he wants to spend his whole career in Baltimore.
Yeah.
So yeah, if they made him an offer that was up to the standard that it should be for a player of his caliber, yeah, he would have signed it.
Yeah.
But they didn't because they're Baltimore. They don't like paying people what they're worth.
Right. So look, they're gonna end up paying him. They're trying to drag it out, and that has a big part of it has to do with the fact that he doesn't have an agent. And they're thinking, they can talk to him and his mom directly, and they'll be able to talk him off of that. But they're finding out.
What if the entire Giro thing is just, hey, we're gonna hire Giro to be his offensive coordinator because he's a running quarterback, and we're gonna keep him through his rookie deal to suppress his value. And as soon as he signs that deal, Greg Roman's up out of here.
He has to be. Right, but that's what we've been talking about. Like, as soon as Lamar, even if Lamar doesn't sign like the biggest contract ever, it's going to be a huge contract. And the minute that happens, Giro can't stay because Giro can't develop him as he can't develop it in any way, right? Like, I mean, he hasn't. I don't think he's done anything for Lamar. Let's just be real about that. He hasn't done anything for Lamar. I think he's just held him back. But we already know Giro can't do anything in the pass game. That's why you had to hire two coaches to come in there and take care of that. So moving forward, you need to be able to do more with less, and you need Lamar to be at his best. And Giro ain't the guy to get the best out of Lamar. So he's definitely gone. And ain't nobody talking about extending Giro in any way. This is his last year on his contract too, I believe. So this is it for him. Like, he's toast. And I'm still not 100% sure. I'm 98% sure that he'll be back this year. I'm not 100% sure that he'll be back. Right? So, nah, man, like once he gets that deal done, that's it. But there's no rush to sign a deal. Like, Lamar's going to get his, and if they want to keep playing, the longer they wait, the more they're going to have to pay him. Because, like you said, Kyler Murray, I mean, he's not getting 50 mil. I mean, whatever. He's not getting that. He's like 2 years away from being able to negotiate.
So he might get 50.
Yeah, he might. Yeah, he's got time to make up for that loss. I don't know what that whole social media thing was with him. I don't know. It seemed like it came out of nowhere. Maybe it's nothing.
Yeah.
Like, like these players are weird, right? But we'll see. But Lamar, he's going to get paid. I think he'll get paid here in Baltimore. They'll begrudgingly do it, but they don't have a choice. Add to Pop says people really underestimating Rams a bit. This hype around Joe and the Bengals is going to come back to haunt them, and the pressure with all this hype around Joe Burr or Shiesty is getting out of hand. I mean, it's not getting out of hand. He's in a Super Bowl, man.
Yeah,
that's not overhype. He's there.
and look, I understand what you're saying, and to an extent, I agree with that. I think people are kind of running wild with the Joe Burrow thing, right? Because I mean, look, he's a second-year quarterback. He had one of the greatest seasons in college football history at LSU. He came in, he got his own wide receiver. They're tearing the league up. Everybody loves to see young superstars come up. Mm-hmm. But like JJ Redick was arguing with Stephen A. Smith, and like nobody puts more pressure on these players than the players themselves. Yeah. So I mean, Joe Burrow's not worried about what anybody else is saying about him. Jamar Chase isn't worried about who's predicting what. Like I don't. That's all just kind of noise. That's not going to affect them on the field on Sunday.
All right, we're going to do lunch money bets here in a second, but I want to address this real quick. Shout out to Mikey from Off the Record Podcast, also from Ring Kings Podcast. Make sure you go over there and subscribe. All right. He says, speaking of great player, what's your thoughts on Ryan Clark's comments about Russell Wilson not being a great QB? Look, let me tell you something. I just listened to a show that Ryan Clark was on with what's that guard or that tackle over in Taylor Lewan, is that his name, over in with the Titans? He's got a podcast too, and he was on that show talking about he could run over, when he was playing, he could have ran over Derrick Henry. He said if you got me in the hole, he couldn't go sideways or whatever, he couldn't get his speed going, I'd have ran over him. Like, Ryan Clark he's that person. He just talks trash. And in the same show, in the same episode, he admitted that one time he tried to run through Anquan Bolden and got knocked out. Yeah. He said himself. He said, I went to sleep. So okay, we know Anquan Bolden can do that to you. What do you think Derrick Henry would do to you if you got him in the box and he just runs straight at you?
I like Ryan Clark. I think he's good at his job. But yeah, like he just there are moments where he gets back into player mode and he just starts talking trash. Yeah, like it's entertaining, but it's not true.
Yeah. I mean, whatever. He can say what you want about Russ, man. Russ has all the numbers. He's been to the Super Bowl twice. He's won it once, and he's still playing. He's still gonna play well, right?
Look, I think there is an argument to be made that he's not playing great. I think that's true. He hasn't been playing great the second half of the last couple seasons, and I think that a big part of that is it's just not working anymore in Seattle with him and Pete Carroll. Yeah, I think that they're not on the same page, and Russ is just kind of saying, "F it, I'm going to do what I want," and it's not going great. Yeah, I think when he gets traded or he leaves in Seattle, like you're going to see another level from Russell Wilson.
Yeah. And shout out to Kimberly. She said, "What's up, Jose? I don't know you left Brodny out, but what's up with you?"
It's all right. It's all right.
She probably said, "What's up to you?" earlier on. I missed it. And we got a donation. Shout out to Anonymous. Appreciate you. Says, should Mr. Jackson leave if nothing changes in 2022? Yes.
Yeah. No, yes. I think so. I mean, he's not going to be able to.
Right.
The team, controls whether or not he stays there for the next couple of years. But if they don't change anything, if they don't fix that O-line, they don't make any moves to improve the talent around him, if I were Lamar, I would absolutely be looking to ask for a trade.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be signing a contract, and I'd be saying, look, you need to move on. You need to move on from me. You need to move me somewhere else. You obviously don't believe in me as the quarterback. So no hard feelings. Send me somewhere else. You guys build around a quarterback that you actually want.
Yeah, if you love Giro so much, keep him. And see if he can get the most out of the next quarterback that comes through. All right. It is time for you gambling degenerates to get your pen and paper out. Take down these hot bets because we got our man D Weezy in the house to give you the lunch money bets. Derek, what's going on, man?
What's going on, fellas?
Hey, how we doing, man? How we doing on the picks last week?
You know, we was on that parlay that looked good up until the end. Mexico ended up walking away with that 1-0.
B
I
was not
think
happy about that, by the way.
No, I was not.
but hey, you got to admit that Panama was in that game all the way into the end. Like, you know, to be a 9-1 underdog, they were in it. That's all you expect out of a team is to be in it. And so, yeah, I believe I went 2-2 on my NBA or my basketball plays that I had last week. But, you know, coming into this week, it's Super Bowl Sunday. And everybody knows in the gambling world, Super Bowl means prop mania. It means props, props, props. You know, like everywhere you look, you'll see them. And I mean, just any and every combination you could possibly think of, depending on what book you may be at. Hundreds, thousands, no telling how many. Oh,
Are
you
there
think I'm joking?
any props in particular you like?
List.
Wow.
Wait, hold it up again. Hold it up again. That's your prop list? You gonna make all those prop bets?
What do you mean, gonna?
All right.
All right. So, you know, to hit y'all with some of the more interesting ones that I found that I actually do find a little bit interesting. And, you know, to kick it off, the number of times the chains will be brought out for a measurement. Now, this sounds very simple. You rarely see it nowadays. But in a game like the Super Bowl, do you think a coach or the refs are going to request a measurement on what might be a iffy spot? Or, you know, they're not just going to be waving the chains through every down. You know, they're going to consider it. That number is at 1.5. You going to tell me there's not going to be two
I'm taking the over on that.
Exactly. Over plus 125. See?
My goodness.
That's the beauty of with a lot of these books, the amount of props that they're putting out. When you open yourself to exposure, you leave gaps, you leave angles. This is the time of year, you know, this is not to say, you know, there's any more guarantee that anything will hit, but this is the time where you can find an angle or something where, you know, like you said, over 1.5 measurements, basically. The ref that, you know, a coach can request a measurement. Yeah. It doesn't have to be, you know, see if it was to move the first down marker. You know, they might want to know, is that a full 1 yard or is that more like half yard?
They'll do that just to give themselves an extra 20 seconds to think about if they want to go for it.
Yeah,
exactly. It doesn't matter why those chains come out there as long as they come out there. Yeah. So, you know, another one I was looking at, I could not find a Stafford pick 6 prop.
Ooh,
exactly.
You know,
come on, who wants that?
Like, they're like, nah, that was too easy.
But I did find the way they're wording it, more or less saying what happens first if 2 were to occur, but a special teams or a defensive touchdown. But then the options being basically fumble recovery, interception, kickoff return, punt return, so on. So that was my way of finding a pick 6 interception in the game. And so I get the plus side of it possibly happening for the Rams and not just against the Rams.
Okay.
That's plus 300.
All right.
Now, you know, the most infamous one, what kicked it all off, where all the prop betting began, the coin toss. Any predictions, fellas?
Tails.
Tails never fails, Derek.
See? Tails all the way.
There you go. There you go.
Now, a more interesting question. Does the person that calls it call it correct?
Yes.
No.
Yes. See?
I say yes.
There you go. At 50-50 sounds a whole lot easier until you start thinking about it. So yeah, there is plenty of props out here that you can find. I don't think OBJ is going to get targeted much. I think Kupp has a chance to see a lot of these targets, even though his number is at 11.5 for targets. OBJ's number's still at 7.5. I like the under there. And you know, that's actually the favorite at minus 130.
You know what's crazy about that? You know what's crazy about that? I agree with you. I think Cooper Kupp is going to see the targets because I think that defense is going to cover OBJ. But Cooper Kupp leads the league in everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's insane. It's just like, hey, you definitely don't want to leave Cooper Kupp open in any circumstance whatsoever. You don't want him in any one-on-one coverage. But Odell's on the other side, so we need to handle that.
And the beauty of a prop like this, you don't need catches. You just need targets.
Right.
Yeah. So, like I said, I have a feeling that, OBJ, he's going to see a few targets. He's going to see a few catches. But to say he's going to see 8 targets and at the same time say Cooper Kupp's still going to see potentially double digits, I don't think those two things happen.
Yeah.
So to say what's more likely to occur, I think OBJ getting less targets in that scenario is what's going to occur.
I'll tell you what, man. Like, if your Matt Stafford pick 6 prop hits early on, neither one of them are going to hit their target numbers. It's going to be the Cam Akers show after that.
And that's another possibility. Everybody's the Bengals are being overrated. Well, folks, I'm here to tell you that the books are not overrating the Bengals. They're +4 underdogs going into this game.
Okay.
Say what you want about the hype and everything. No, nobody's overlooking these Rams, and not just the defense. I mean, again, think of it. OBJ, he may not be the player that he was in New York, but he's still that guy that can catch anything you throw his way.
Mm-hmm.
You feel confident with a player like that late in the fourth quarter, close to the end zone, in the red zone. That's the type of guy you like having in your back pocket when you need it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. An easy scenario to find yourselves in where, that might lead to a touchdown prop. I played the OBJ TD prop at +120. I believe Cooper Kupp was priced at -200. I mean, they're almost pinning it in that Kupp's getting a TD in this game somehow.
Yeah.
And me, sticking to my just natural tendencies and what I've tried to, practice what you preach. -200, I can't play that. That's not doable. Because though nobody thinks it's gonna happen, you gonna feel a little sick if Cooper Kupp doesn't get a TD and you paying -200, -250, -300, something insane, getting into that side of things.
Okay. All right. I want you to save the rest of the prop bets for the overtime show. We can't give them everything.
Oh, no, I'm not giving them everything because there's one or two that you got to save for the overtime show because they're a little juicy.
The game, I want you to give me what you put down in the game, and Raven Ron, Degenerate Ron, is making an appearance. He has some questions for you. This is important.
All right, so I do have the Bengals +4. I'm not that confident in the Rams. I think it could be a low-scoring game. Something like 27-23. I believe I got it at +4.5 when it first opened up. I'll take you giving me that amount of points and the Bengals potentially the hotter team, quite possibly the better offense, garbage time TDs, potentially scenario like that. I'll gladly take the Bengals +4.5.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. I might have to put something down on that. My first bet. I'm not a gambler, but that might be my first bet. We'll see. Raven Ron is here. He says, Degenerate Ron, bets F the Bengals, doing Rams -4. Okay, all right. 2-game parlay tonight. Hornets Bulls over 236.5. What do you think about that? And Warriors Jazz over 225.
I like that. The second over, I do like. Here currently, I don't know if the Hornets have been that same over team that they were. I don't know the starting lineups. I don't know if Hayward's back in yet or the situation with him as far as his status. It's enticing.
So
honestly,
that game is almost the end of the first quarter, 26-25 Hornets.
They could still get there.
Yeah.
Any other team in another scenario, I would say if you're still getting something like 230, 232, 236, anything in that range, they're likely not getting there. Or if you played it pregame and that's where the number was, and it's looking like it's going to end at about a 50-point quarter, do the simple math. 50 points every quarter is only 200.
Right.
So yes, little things like that do matter, especially if you start looking into some of the live lines. But yeah, no defense, basically, they could still get to that. And like I said, I do like the over in that Jazz Warriors matchup, even with Clay being out. The other players on that team have been playing well, maybe even above expectations. Steph Curry has potentially this year become a little bit more of a distributor, but still found ways to get his and perform when needed, even though Draymond Green's been down for a lot of the season. So, yeah, that combined with what the Jazz have been doing and playing good basketball, I definitely think both the overs there are live plays.
All right. And Mama Weezy says, that's right, D. Bengals all night long. There you go. There you go. All right. Listen, we have a lot more prop bets to get to. We're going to get to that in the Overtime Show. You don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss this. You want to be a part of Overtime Show? We're going to tell you in just a second. It's going to be on our Patreon link. We're going to tell you how to sign up. Derek always hangs out with us on the Overtime Show. He also has a channel on our Discord, Lunch Money Bets. All right, and we're going to show you how you can be a part of that if you want to get more of these hot takes. All right, and you can also go to our website, lbhtshow.com, where he also writes some articles on Panthers. If you're a Panthers fan, make sure you give this man a follow. D Weezy, thank you for coming through, my friend. We will see you soon.
All right, everybody, take care out there.
All right. Yes. Oh, and Mikey said, I'd take that 4 in a heartbeat. Yes, indeed. All right. So, as I mentioned, ways to hit up the Overtime Show, hang out with us right below me. Patreon.com/LBHT Show. All right. If you got $3 in your pocket, you don't want to miss it. All right. We have 2 tiers. The $10 tier is back, guys. We're making an announcement. The $10 tier is back. It was sold out for a while, but now it's back. So now we got 2 tiers again, the $3 tier and the $10 tier. B, tell them real quick what they get for both tiers.
Yeah, so with the $3 tier, like Jose said, you get entrance into the Overtime Show. All the patrons are in there. We talk about anything and everything. It kind of just goes until we're done. It's a lot of fun every week. You also get entrance into our NFL Pick'em League, where the winner gets a custom LBHT trophy at the end of the season. This year it went out to OTR Mike. Congratulations, Mike.
Yes.
For the $10 tier, that's going to get you entrance into our fantasy football league, which is being converted into a dynasty league this year, and we give out a custom championship belt for that. You also get the ability to request specific content, videos, articles, anything like that on any topic that you would like. And now we are going to be giving away the second edition of our coin, the LBHT Crew coin.
That is it right there. And that picture doesn't do it justice.
Yeah, it's a little difficult to tell in the picture. It's silver on one side, black or gold on the other. It looks really, really nice in person. So we're going to be sending those out to our former $10 tier members. Those should be going out in the mail in a day or two. So you should have those early next week. And again, both tiers get you entrance into our Discord channel.
Yes, and Davon says, #FoundersCoin. The Founders Coin, they are sold out. That's why the $10 tier is sold out for a while. That's what the Founders Coin looks like. All right. Yes, that's what it looks like. But the new coin, it's hot. Okay. All right. And the founding members, they get that coin as well. If you want one of those, like B said, patreon.com/LBHT Show. All right. Also, right below us, that link, lbhtshow.com/shop. If you like the shirt, you like the merch, you like the cup or the bottle, you like the mug right here. Okay, we have all that stuff available on our store. We have this stuff and a whole lot more, and we're gonna be making some updates soon. So just check it out. If there's something on there that you like, go ahead and support the show. And once again, the third way to support is right below B, $LBHT Show. That's our Cash App. And the pinned link in the chat box, that's for our Streamlab. Those are 2 ways that you can do super chat. Now look, we're close to 1,000 subscribers. All right, 1,000 subscribers usually activates super chat, but we don't do super chat here. Those are the 2 ways that you can do super chat. This is better than super chat. Trust me. Okay, this is better. You leave your donation, leave your comment, you get a nice animation right above us. Okay, we'll read your comment on air. All right, let's fire up that bonus time, B. Well, no, we gotta do. Yes,
I understand you want to skip it, but
no, I don't want to skip it. I want to address
Jimbo,
this. I want to address this.
Big Jim Harden wants out of Brooklyn.
And Nitro, I see your question. He has a good question about the Panthers. I'm going to read that in the bonus time. Don't worry. I see it. Okay. All right. You wanna get straight to Harden?
Straight to Jimothy, old honey bun.
Oh, honey bun. Okay. Look, there are rumors that he was thinking about leaving Brooklyn in the offseason. Doesn't like the area. Has issues with Kyrie. Understand it all. Okay. Now, I mean, look, I've been through Brooklyn. I don't know Brooklyn like that, but understanding that, hey, this is a little different than what I'm used to. Not feeling the cold weather, and playing with part-time Kyrie, could that I can see why that'd be an issue, but there were talks about a week or 2 ago that the Sixers were talking to Brooklyn about trading them, and then he came out and said, "Oh, he's not getting traded. Harden wants to stay." Steve Nash said, "We're not trading him. We're keeping him." But now it seems like talks have fired up again. They're saying Harden wants out now. Brian Windhorst, you gotta check the source. He say that he's screaming that he wants out. Like Brian Windhorst. My thing is, you don't have that type of player access. You didn't actually hear him scream that he wants out right now. But he could want to be traded right now, and Brooklyn seems like they're in talks with Philly to get Ben Simmons and a few other players. So let's see how that turns out. And shout out to Mikey. Mikey made a donation. He says the best nation is donation. Hashtag Pick'em Champ. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So the latest rumor is that they are the Nets offered James Harden for Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Tibble, and I believe one other player. Andre Drummond.
Yeah.
And that the Sixers weren't too high on that offer. They think that's too much for James Harden, which is ridiculous. But it seems like they're trying to get something done. The deadline is tomorrow, so we'll see. If I'm Brooklyn, I'm telling them it's Ben Simmons plus Maxey, or don't even pick up the phone again.
Yeah, and you tell Harden, look, this is what it's going to take to get you to Philly if that's where you want to go. Otherwise, you'll have to wait until the offseason. Or don't play. You know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. Like, if you're going to leave anyway, like, we're going to get what we want for you or whatever. This is a situation of who blinks first, because Philly's looking at it like, well, he doesn't want to play for you. So what are you going to do? You going to let him go for nothing? And Brooklyn's looking at Philly like, Ben Simmons isn't playing for you.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? Like, I mean, you have him under contract, but he's never going to play for you. All he's doing is eating up your salary cap.
And I'm looking at Philly and I'm saying, how many years do you really think you're going to get out of Joel Embiid?
Right.
Before that train starts to derail.
They're running him to the ground. They did this last year too, right? They did this last year too. I mean, Embiid is an amazing player. I love watching him play. But they don't give him any breaks during the season. He needs the load management, and then when he gets to the playoffs, man, he doesn't have enough in a tank to carry the team.
Yeah.
Now, getting James Harden will help a lot. It will help a lot. But look, they're going to have to give up a lot to get him. That's just the way it is.
I've got the solution for Philly.
Yeah.
And that's a Russell Westbrook trade. Okay. Send Ben Simmons on over to the other coast. Send him out to the Lakers. That solves all of your issues. Now, if you're going to ask me how, I'm going to say, shut up. Don't ask me how. But we need to go ahead and get that done.
They're saying nobody wants this man.
No. They said that there is one team out there who was, Houston was open to trading for Westbrook. And I saw earlier that there might have been one other team who was willing to do a deal. But, I mean, I saw one proposal for a deal with the Knicks where they send Westbrook and the Knicks send back Kemba, Fournier, and Alec Burks. And I read the rationale for the trade, and the entire thing was like, this would be good for the Lakers. Like, not one word about how that would make the Knicks better.
Right.
But, it is what it is.
So Nitro says Giannis will repeat. All right, man. I don't think so. Look, they have a good team, but even without Harden, right? If we trade Harden, we get Ben Simmons. Look, Ben Simmons will play for us. We all know Ben Simmons just refuses to shoot the ball. Kyrie, yes, he's doing a lot of shenanigans right now. I think he'll get his vaccine shot, and he'll be available for all the games come playoff time. And KD is still the man, right? Don't get it twisted. KD is still the man. Everybody healthy, I think we handle Milwaukee. Now,
listen,
no, go ahead.
Maybe they're on a 9-game losing streak just to ensure that they never have home court advantage, so Kyrie is available for every game 7. Right?
Oh, yes. Yes.
I'm thinking ahead.
But, look, I mean, Milwaukee, look, you got Giannis. I mean, they're the defending champions. So, I mean, I can't call that a bad take by any means. Andre Mir says Harden and Embiid together would be fire. Yeah.
For all 2 of those rounds.
Listen, look, I mean, it would be, but how much different would it be from Embiid, Jimmy Butler, and Ben Simmons? How much different would it be?
It would be worse because James Harden is a proven playoff choker.
Yeah. I mean, he's a better player than Jimmy Butler.
He is, but not in the playoffs.
Yeah, I can't argue that.
I'm trying to think. At least not in deciding games in the playoffs. I'll say, he's fine outside of that. But when it comes down to deciding games, James is not the dude who you want with the ball in his hands.
Yeah. All this that they've done, man, Philly could have just kept Jimmy Butler. That's all I'm saying. They could have just kept him. Let's see. Best big man in the league. Yep. No question about it.
I believe there's a man out west who just won a league MVP who would have something to say about it.
Let's see. Not with the Knicks, Zaul Martinez said. Oh, he's talking about Westbrook. Y'all don't want to give up anybody, RJ Barrett, anybody like that? Y'all love RJ Barrett right now. Y'all are in love with RJ Barrett.
Listen, and they should be, man. Like, I was completely wrong on RJ. I didn't think that he had the game for the NBA. I thought he was going to kind of be a bit of a bust, but he's not, man. He's playing really, really, really well.
I thought he'd be okay. I just didn't think he'd be a superstar. I still don't think he's gonna be a superstar, but I think.
Yeah, well, you're wrong. Okay. If history has shown us anything, is that nothing bad comes of taking a small stretch of good basketball in New York and blowing it way out of proportion. Right? So,
D Weezy says, LiAngelo will look good in gold and purple for Westbrook.
I bet he wouldn't. I bet he looked real stupid. He better just stay home in Charlotte or wherever he's at. He's not playing for Charlotte. Now, LaMelo. You want to talk about LaMelo?
Stellan says trade 2 of the Monstars from Space Jam. At least they played. He's talking about for Ben Simmons. And Nitro says, hold on. Kimberly says, I can't wait for the NFL draft on April 23rd. I'm excited to come. We're going to get to that in a second. We're going to talk about some offseason moves for our teams. Nitro says, Giannis' only weakness was shooting, and he has gotten way better. So, yep, he about to repeat without another superstar. Yeah, okay. Yeah, see, Nitro is on that. Nitro's on that. Oh, see, he's getting it done without superstars. No, he got it done because superstars got hurt, if we're being real about it.
Listen. I love Giannis. And Giannis was amazing in the playoffs last year, especially coming back from that knee injury, staring down the angry little dick puncher, just walking through him. And I love him for it. And he absolutely deserved that ring. He deserved MVP, all that. He doesn't get anywhere near the finals if every star in the NBA, every other star in the NBA isn't hurt. I mean, the Nets would have ran through Milwaukee.
Yeah.
If they were healthy.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, even if we end up trading Harden, which isn't a guarantee at this point, but even if we trade Harden, like I said, I believe Kyrie will be back and just playing every game. And look, Ben Simmons ain't trash. I know we make fun of Ben Simmons. He is not trash.
He is a very good player. He's not a clutch player.
Right. Andre Drummond ain't a bad piece to have in the rotation as well. Right. We got a strong bench, man. So I think we would definitely give them. I would pick Brooklyn. I might be biased, right? But I would definitely pick Brooklyn in that series. But yeah, man, like the Warriors look hot. You know what I'm saying? Like the Suns are looking good again. Like it's not a lock. But if you feel confident about it, that's cool. But don't think that him against I saw what you're saying, B. But don't think
understand why you're ignoring me.
Don't think that in a league where you have teams stacked with talent that he's just going to be able to just run through all the talent every time, because he hasn't done it once. He didn't do it last year. No. Nigel says you could say the same thing about Golden State first title. Every team they played had major injuries.
Yeah, we do say the same thing about it. They would have lost to Cleveland if Cleveland was healthy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's a fact. That's a fact. But, you play who's in front of you. So, that's why we give Giannis credit. It's not hate on Giannis at all. We like Giannis. So, yeah. I just don't think he's going to do it again this year.
Giannis would look great in purple and gold, man. Listen, it's time to trade Anthony Davis. Like, I know that they're talking about, let's try to move Westbrook, and maybe we can package Taylor Horton Tucker and Kendrick Nunn. No. Get Anthony Davis on a plane and get some players back, because Anthony don't want to play.
Anthony Davis for Harden?
Anthony thought that he was going to come to LA and LeBron was going to carry him to multiple rings, and he did the first one. But it's time for you to step up, Anthony.
Wow, Mikey says Suns win the chip this year. Wow.
Come on, man.
Shug said Brodny's always hating. Why you always hating on your team, who? B? Man. Why you always hating?
Who am I hating on?
Stop hating. I don't know. Yeah. Russell Westbrook, your whole team.
How about Suge is always in here talking about stop telling the truth? How about that?
All right. Let's fire up some bonus time because we're already a little over time. Nitro, you put a question in here earlier that I wanted to read. Let me find it. He said Panthers could get Jameis Winston. What do you think? What do you think about that, B?
Nah.
You wouldn't take Jameis Winston over Sam Darnold?
I would take anyone over Sam Darnold, but the point is that that's not the choice. Like, it's not just one of those two. I want them to draft Malik Willis, and actually I need to go and look at this other quarterback, Desmond Ridder, who's supposed to be really, really good. I haven't actually seen him play yet, so we'll see on that. But I like Malik Willis. Getting Jameis Winston isn't any different to me than just letting Sam play this year. Like, he's not your long-term answer, so it's whatever.
I prefer they just bring back Cam, right? I prefer they bring him back, but Sam is not going to play this year. Like, Matt Rule is not good with the whole media thing and trying to talk around stuff, and he just couldn't bring himself to say, yeah, I feel confident in him. He just like, yeah, he's under contract, and that's all there is to it. Next question. Like,
he's here.
He's here.
He's definitely here.
They're exploring all options. They're definitely drafting a quarterback. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, but it sounds like the guy they like is Kenny Pickett. I'm not super excited about that, but I'm not like down on it.
Yeah.
I would prefer Malik Willis.
Yeah.
But no, I don't see. Like, for me, I don't see the value in going after a guy like Jameis because, like I said, I don't think that the team is going to commit to him being a long-term quarterback. And, he hasn't shown the ability to be that either. So I would just assume just stick it out with Darnold and whoever they bring in.
Yeah. Attitude Pop, what are you saying here? Attitude Pop, you don't do this, Attitude Pop. He says Kevin Durant's getting karma for leaving Golden State and going to play with that fool Kyrie, and Kevin is supposed to be on the Knicks with Kyrie and Zion. Attitude Pop, you're showing.
There's so much wrong with that.
Attitude Pop, you're showing your age here. Zion was not supposed to be in New York. He went to the team that drafted him. Okay, yeah. Like That's what happened there.
Stop listening to Stephen A.
And he is in New York. He's in Brooklyn. Okay.
Yeah.
He's in Brooklyn. Yeah. You let what happened?
Why would he be getting bad karma for going to Golden State and winning them a couple rings?
Right.
Because that's what happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
He didn't gravy train the Warriors. He was the best player on that team.
Yeah. There's no bad karma going on right now. He's gonna win with Brooklyn. Right. And even if he doesn't win again, he has 2 rings, multiple MVPs. Right. He's making a boatload of money. If that's bad karma, give me some of that. I mean, yes, okay, we all know what it is with Kyrie. Kyrie's an excellent player. And both of them were never going to New York. You just listen to the wrong people in the media telling you that that's where they're going to go. That's all that happened. All right? Yeah. Be careful who you trust. Yeah, everybody's supposed to be a Knick. LeBron's supposed to be a Knick. You know? Like, everybody's supposed to go to the Knicks. Everybody projects players to go to the Knicks because people think that's the mecca of basketball and everybody wants to play in the Garden. And the reality is nobody wants to play there.
That's not true. People like playing in the Garden as visitors. They like shutting up New Yorkers.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, get a better owner. Sorry. You want to talk about bad karma? That's James Dolan.
Get a better coach and get some better players too while you're at it.
Yeah. Zaul Martinez says Knicks are growing with the youngins. Yeah, they are. They are.
They got one youngin.
And they're competitive. Derek says, let's talk about the real issue. Steph Curry ain't come home yet. Oh, to Charlotte. Yeah.
Y'all replaced him though. You got somebody sitting in his spot.
Yeah. Garnett says Brodny is the real sour patch. All right, keep putting your comments in here. We're gonna hang out here for a few more minutes, and we're gonna hit up the overtime show. Anything you want to talk about, just throw it in the chat. We'll cover it. Nigel says your Panthers on offense would be exciting with Jameis. That's better than Darnold. Yeah, but listen, I don't think they gave Cam a real chance last year, and I know he didn't look great the little chance that he got, but a year where you say, Cam, this is your team no matter what. You got the keys, and we're fully committed to you. And Ben McAdoo's running the offense. I think.
I want to point out that he said exciting, not good, and I think that's accurate. It would be exciting. It's always turnovers are always exciting.
He's cut down on it.
Has he?
He looked all right with the.
He looked okay.
With the Saints. In fact, he might be going back to the Saints.
He didn't play a full season. Not even close.
No.
So I think I would hesitate to say that he cut down on it. It would be exciting. It would not be good.
Yeah. Let's see. Derek says we paying Darnold regardless if there is someone else to play. If they bring someone, they have to be better. Yeah. I mean, that's why they're going to draft the quarterback ultimately. If they don't bring in anybody else and it's just Darnold and that rookie quarterback, then that rookie quarterback is going to be starting. That's what it's going to be. I don't think eventually. I think it'll be day one. I don't think he wants to go day one out there with Sam Darnold.
They've already shown you their willingness to start Sam Darnold over better quarterbacks.
Yeah, I think things have changed a little bit, man. I think I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot of shakeup with that coaching staff. I think they might feel better with an experienced coaching staff there working with that young quarterback, because it's going to be more so about Ben McAdoo working with Pickett or Malik Willis or whoever, right? It's not going to be so much Matt Rule. It's going to be Ben McAdoo working with that player.
No, but and the other part of why I say that is if they draft a quarterback, that means they didn't fix the O-line. So you're not going to want to throw the rookie out there immediately behind the O-line that you had there last season. But I think it'll take a few games.
But the reality is, man, we say this all the time, but teams always do it. They always throw the young quarterbacks out there.
Always.
Okay.
Not always. Look at Justin Fields. He had a bad coach, and that bad coach said Andy Dalton is my guy.
That bad coach was trying to keep his job, right?
What is this bad coach trying to do?
And look, he sent his crew off already. He said, "Look, the ship is sinking, my friend."
He's trying to keep
he
his
said,
job.
"Take that life raft and get out of here." Okay. He said, "I'm not far behind
also
you."
Trying to keep his job.
He's not trying to keep his job, man. He knows he's gone. He knows he's toast.
He's trying to keep his job.
Matt Nagy, you know how coaches are when they know their butts are on fire. that seat is hot, right? They stick with the guys that they know. Hey, I know Andy Dalton can't play, but he knows my playbook, right? Like I'm if I gotta go down, I'm gonna go down with Andy. That's what he does.
And listen, and Matt don't know Kenny Pickett from Adam. All right, he knows Sam.
He don't like Sam though.
He does like Sam.
He
likes
did.
Sam.
You know how you know he doesn't like Sam?
He likes Sam better than PJ.
He doesn't like Sam because in that press conference he didn't even say I like Sam. He didn't even do the layup like, hey, I love Sam. He did this and that. He's just like, yo, the dude's under contract. What's his name? Yeah, Darnold. He's under contract. Next question.
he likes him some Darnold. Okay.
Okay, let's see here. Matt Williams says whether Cincy wins or loses, Ravens gotta be better quickly. Yes. I mean, they're in our division. They're gonna be better. You know, the Browns, they're gonna make some moves to try to get better. I mean, they won't as long as they keep Baker there. And Shug with another donation says, wait 1 year anniversary for LBHT. That means for every $30 donation, Shug takes a shot for the crew. Wow.
Thank you, Shug.
Thank you, man.
I'm gonna say every not $30 donation means that Shug does not drink for a half an hour.
There you go. Sober Shug. Hashtag sober Shug. Raven Ron says, think Ramsey puts the clamps on Chase in the Super Bowl? Not a chance.
Nah, I don't think that. I'm not gonna say that that Chase burns him, and has a great game or anything like that. But I think it'll be a even back and forth. He's not gonna clamp him.
Yeah.
He didn't clamp Mike Evans the week before.
No, he didn't. Let's see. Kimberly Harmon says Cam used to be the best QB, and the Panthers, he led them to Super Bowl 50. That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
They did Cam wrong.
They did. All right, a couple more. We're going to get up out of here. Nitro says people saying Eric Bieniemy pass is stopping him from getting a head coaching jobs. Like people will say anything. Sad. Yeah, I don't buy that.
No, it's not true. If your past could keep you from getting a head coaching job, Josh McDaniels would not have been introduced as the head coach of the Raiders.
What was the dude? What was the what was dude's name for the Lions with the hat flipped backwards, looking like Doug Heffernan? What was his name?
That was Matt Stafford for a long time.
What was the coach's name that came from New England? The defensive
Matt
coach.
Patricia.
Yeah. Matt Patricia, he had some questionable things come up in his past too.
He certainly did.
Yeah.
It was weird how that wasn't like all in the media though, leading up to his hire.
So right. Davon says hashtag sober Shug. Hendo says hashtag sober Shug, and Shug says do not start that hashtag. Oh, man. Yeah, Matt Patricia. Yeah, I don't buy that. That's just the black coaching candidate has to have just a spotless record. Has to show the ability to be great right now. Everything has to be perfect, and they still don't get hired. And we got another anonymous tip says, will Mr. Jackson be in the spread offense in 2022? No, not with G-Ro. G-Ro don't know how to run that offense. I keep telling y'all, G-Ro does not know how to come up with passing concepts. Right? People keep saying, "Oh, well, look at this play here. That was a good passing play. That was a good passing play." Well, okay, that's a play, right? What about your concept? Like, can you run a passing offense? The answer is no. We've known this his whole career, and that's why they had to bring in two guys to help him draw plays now. That's what we're hearing now, right? That these guys are helping him with the pass game. Basically, they're taking over the pass game. That's on them, right? And he can just focus on the run game, which means you should not be an offensive coordinator. But are we going to run a spread offense? No, they're not going to run a spread offense. They're going to stick to what they know. Offense. Yeah, they're going to run the same offense, man. Obviously, Lamar can make it work. We've seen it. And what they're going to try to do is say, okay, I do believe they're going to build up the O-line. I think they see the flaw in their ways with that, and they're gonna say we're gonna beef up the O-line and try to get that 2019 season back. Everybody will be healthy. Maybe they will add a wide receiver. What quality wide receiver we'll see, but they're definitely adding a wide receiver. Sammy Watkins ain't coming back, so we'll see there. And yeah, it's just gonna be about executing, right? Hey, Lamar's going to get better, because that's the other thing too. It's always on Lamar to get better every year. Hey, Lamar just got to work on this. Lamar got to work on that. How come we don't ever say the coaches got to get better?
Yeah.
What does John Harbaugh have to do to be a better coach? What does Greg Roman have to do? Well, we know what he has to do. What's he going to do to be a better coach? Because all we're seeing is, we're just going to bring in some people to do what he can't do, right? Yeah. When do they have to get better? When does EDC have to get better as a GM? Stop wasting our 12 picks we get every year, right? We get 12 picks and like, oh, well, 2 of them worked out. EDC does it again. All right, I'm ranting here. I'm ranting. Yeah. Mr. Jada6 says, what's his name? Snaps. MF that looks like Dwayne Wade. Yeah, I can't remember his name, man. Let's see. Danny says, someone on Twitter asked if Eric Bieniemy record is why he's not getting coaching jobs, then why even interview him? They knew the record before the interview. Yeah, because it's just an excuse. They don't care about that. They don't care about that at all. Davon says, yeah, Gregory can't coordinate. Yep. Shout out to Vach Lombardi. I got that from him. Greg Roman, he can call a play here and there, but he can't coordinate. He's not a coordinator. Derek says G-Row runs the power offense. It has passing plays too. Yeah, it has plays in it, but it's not a passing offense. Kimberly says, I thought Roman was getting fired this offseason. I thought so too.
Yeah, doesn't look like it. Does not look like it.
I'm not reading that. He says, you know who can't run a passing offense? I'm not reading that. I'm not reading it. Christian Bale. If you guys don't know that reference, man, it's just an ongoing thing. Suge hates Christian Bale. He thinks he's the worst Batman ever.
He's the worst person ever.
Yeah, he hates Christian Bale. We're gonna get to the bottom of it one day, why he hates Christian Bale so much. Let's see. Danny says, we
got to the bottom of it already because he chose a woman over justice.
Wait, what question is this, Danny? She says, I want to know y'all answer to the wrestler question. What wrestler question? Did I miss that question? Put it in there again. Put it in there again. I didn't see any question about it.
That'll be we'll go out on the wrestler question, whatever that is.
Yeah. Let's see. EDC definitely hoarding picks. Yeah, Davon. Yeah, that's what he does. I mean, he's excited about having 9 picks in the first 4 rounds. Nah, trade those up. Move up. Get some talent. Mikey says, new rumor is Bisciotti is looking to sell the team. Go. Sell the team. I don't care. I don't care. I mean, I don't care who the owner is. Whatever. Nitro says they raising the prices to Ravens games because Lamar missed 6 games last year and they lost money. He is the golden goose with a twist. Yes. That's why he's not going anywhere. He's caught. Look, they trade him. I mean, obviously they get a lot back for him, but it ain't gonna be Lamar, right? Like there's only one reason you go to the games. You have some people out there. You got the ride or die ones like, win or lose, I'm gonna support the team. Yeah, but that ain't gonna fill out the stadium. Yeah. Not even close. There's one reason why that stadium is packed, and that's for Lamar. Nobody else. Attitude Pop says Jamar Chase low key did what AB did years ago when they beat Kansas City, and went on social media and started gloating. And Jamar said, "We smoking that cheese pack. That's gonna come back to bite his team." I don't know what you're talking about, Attitude Pop. You are off today.
Karma's not a real thing. It's not a real thing that happens.
Yeah, it's not, man. Yeah. Look, if they lose, they lose. Like, what's bad karma at this point? They're in the Super Bowl. But okay, if they lose it, all right, fine. They're gonna have plenty of opportunities. He's 21 or 22. Yeah. Danny says all-time favorite wrestler. I think Derek asked it.
Bret the Hitman Hart. Excellence of execution. The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Now, I say that, but it's also The Rock.
Yes, it's The Rock. It used to be Hulk Hogan until I found out that he hates N-words.
He was Hulk Hogan. NWO had a whole different meaning for him.
Dragonfly Jones on Twitter, he wrote this tweet about how when he was a kid, he saw Hulk Hogan get hurt in a match. He got beat up by somebody. I forget who it was, and he was so mad about it. He wrote him a letter wishing them to get well, and he had his dad put it in the mail. He always thought about that. He's like all that, and then I found out that he called me an N-word. All right. That's how I felt, man. That's how I felt. So yes, it's no longer Hulk Hogan. Yes, The Rock is my favorite wrestler of all time. And Darius Simmons says Macho Man. Yes.
That used to be Jose's right there.
Yes.
Be Macho Man.
Yes. I mean, the elbow drop off the top rope. There's
that's a beautiful move. It's a beautiful move.
He would fly too, man.
The Rock is my favorite on the mic. I mean, my favorite wrestler is still Brett. Always Brett.
Yeah. Garnett says Bill Goldberg. He was all right, man, but like a tackle.
He's like Roman Reigns to me, and like people are just not down with the version 2 because Bill Goldberg just had the spear, and Roman Reigns just has he does the spear and the Superman punch, and people are like, nah, man, we seen it.
John Hazeb Ali says John Cena. Speaking of John Cena, man, if you guys haven't watched Peacemaker, that show is so funny.
Yeah,
that show is so funny, man. Definitely check that out. Danny says mine is Kane. Oh, okay, my all-time favorite by far. Okay. Yes.
Until he took off the mask and now he's a Republican mayor or governor or whatever he is.
Yeah.
It's not as fun anymore.
Well, when they all leave the ring, their mask come off, right? Big Red 29 says, I see many people say hire Ray Lewis. No. For a defensive coaching position, but they can't hire a guy who has his own entrance music to the stadium. Because he would still want that, right? Every game he wants his own entrance music.
That's right.
And the linebackers coach, Ray Lewis. That's a good point. Attitude Pop says Stone Cold and John Cena are the best wrestlers of all time, and it's not close.
Oh my God. Attitude. Get onto Peacock and watch some old wrestling. It's all on there.
You're right. You're right about one thing. It's not close, but you got the wrestlers wrong. Yes, Ravens Online Ungatekeeper says Ultimate Warrior. I think I told a story on the Overtime Show when we were stationed in Maine. This is when we were little kids. Brodny was still a baby. I was about like 6 or 7 years old, and maybe a little bit older. It wasn't that much older, but when Hogan Ultimate Warrior wrestled for the first time, this was bigger. This was bigger than Pacquiao Mayweather. Okay,
it was the biggest thing in the history of the world.
It was the biggest thing ever. Okay, and I was like, nobody can beat Hulk Hogan. It's just impossible. And I bet my friend a G.I. Joe,
because Hulk Hogan is the guy who gets stronger the more you hit him.
I can't remember what G.I. Joe I bet him. But I know he has Storm Shadow, and I need a Storm Shadow. All right. So I was like, easy money right here. And my man lost. He lost to Ultimate Warrior. And I was so mad. And I had to give up my G.I. Joe. And I told that kid, wrestling's fake. I didn't believe it was fake at the time, but our older brothers used to always mess with us and say it was fake, and they used to get me mad. So I was like, well, it makes me mad when people tell me it's fake, so I'm going to tell him that wrestling's fake. So, yeah, needless to say, I did not get Storm Shadow. Okay. Thanks, Hogan. All right, we're going to end it there, man. Let's see. John Zed says, are you guys in NYC? No, we're not. No, we're not in New York. We're not in New York. West Virginia for Brodny, Maryland for me. Eddie Guerrero. Yes, I remember Eddie Guerrero. Mm-hmm. Sting. Yeah, Dandy likes Sting. Yep.
Yeah, I was a big Sting fan.
Undertaker and Ultimate Warrior for Jemiah Seavey. Yes. Yeah. Sting and Lex Luger for Nitro. Okay. D'Lo Brown for our guy Mikey. D'Lo Brown. He definitely had top 5 best walk-ins to the ring.
Yeah.
Raven Ron says Stone Cold and Hulk Hogan. Earthquake. Yes. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. No Jimmy Snuka? Wow.
I mean, he's a murderer.
I mean, do we want to list the rap sheets of some of these guys that they named? I don't think we want to do that.
Is murder on it?
Well,
on the other ones?
Well, I saw Lex Luger on here. I'm just saying.
He didn't kill her.
He
didn't kill her.
He killed her. It was an accident. He did kill her.
No, she killed herself. If you're gonna go that route with it.
Who provided the drugs? Who provided the drugs?
Who took them?
Man, and that was Macho Man's wife.
Not at the time.
If you guys see, this is a younger crowd. You guys don't know. Look, you go watch the Dark Side of the Ring because you guys don't know these stories. Go watch the Dark Side of the Ring, and you'll get a whole different.
Wrestling is a tough road.
Very, very, very tough road. All right. We're gonna leave it at that, man. This was fun. We're in the off season for the Ravens and Panthers. The Super Bowl was the last game of the season, but we're gonna have a lot to talk about, obviously, because we don't do our shows anymore. Apparently, we always go over at least an hour and a half. But next week is gonna be 1 year anniversary. So and we're gonna have a lot more to talk about for the next show. So thanks for hanging out with us. If you want to hang out a little bit longer, go over to patreon.com/LBHT Show. Sign up if you got $3 in your pocket, and we'll keep this party going. Patrons, give us a couple minutes. We'll get the overtime show started up. B, are you ready to go?
Yes.
All right, everybody else, have a good night, and we will see you next time. Peace out.